A long time ago, there was a big hype about killing your landline telephone service and going with cable phone or some other type of VoIP phone service. Well, I'm here today to say that the cable phone and VoIP service isn't worth it. I mean, I've and I wasn't really suckered into it like some people were like, "Oh, get rid of landline." No, we stayed with our landline for a while, but I got tired of the price, so I'm like, "Well, where else can I go?" It's either going to be cable phone, which was not really in our area at that time, or it's something on the DSL internet, which is what we had. So 2 years ago, I went with a company called UMA, and it worked perfectly fine on DSL. And there's just a lot of things about VoIP that people don't realize when they get into it. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today is VoIP phone service versus cell phone service. Welcome back to Pushing Technology to the Limit. I am going to show you on my screen back here a few options that you can do to switch your service. Now, one of the things that I have found throughout the years of using voice over internet protocol is its unreliability. It worked fine for a good long time, but the minute that you have a problem, whether it's your equipment or it's your internet service provider or your phone service provider on the internet, everything goes haywire. Now, I don't mean everything, but if your internet goes down, there goes your phone. Now, if you're in a spot where you can get relatively good cell phone service, I would recommend going with cell phone. I mean, I've got 2 lines of cell phone now on one account with the AT&T unlocked box. And if you watched my other video, this is going to be showing you some other alternatives other than the box that I bought, but then to kind of be aware of the drawbacks of the other units. So, as of now, I am totally cell phone for the most part. I still have Google Voice, and that's one thing I don't really understand about the telephone service that I paid for, is that the Google phone has always worked, whether the UMA was working or not. Now, if I had an internet problem, yes, everything would go down. But when I've had problems with UMA in the past, Google Voice has always just run. And I don't know why, and I don't pay a dime for Google Voice. So, you got me there. But anyways, if you're kind of feeling, well, I would like to get away from my VoIP service and go with a cell phone service, this is how you would do it. Now, I am not recommending these boxes. I'm not selling this stuff for Amazon because I sure know, and other people know that if you watch from my videos, that I did not buy it on Amazon because it was just way too expensive. So let me show you the pros and cons about these other boxes. I mean, I don't know what you want to call them. I call them well, I don't even know what you want to call it, but it's basically what they're doing is that they're taking cell service and converting it into a wired telephone for your old landline phone, which for some folks that you may have older in your family don't want to deal with all those fancy buttons on a cell phone and having to figure out how to make it work. Well, this thing would work perfectly for them if they can get good cell phone reception. Keep in mind, if this is the first video that you've watched and you haven't seen my other one, that you should find a spot in your home that is, doesn't have as much electronics in it for interference reasons. I have found that in my home that if I isolated it from all other electronics with whatever it may be. I mean, yes, I can still have a few networking devices around because it is a networking device as well. But it works better. And to get more detail on all that stuff, go to the video that's unlocked AT&T device router on the video down below this one. So let me get showing you all the rest of the different boxes out there and the pros and cons and why I like this one that I got the best. So the first box that I looked at after deciding, my second phone box, I want to do a little something different. Well, there might be something a little bit nicer out there. So the first one I looked at after getting my AT&T device was this one. Now, there's several things I don't really care for it. Is the fact that, and sorry, I can't really pronounce their brand names, so I'm not even going to try doing that. But on this other box, it's not too bad, but there again, it doesn't really tell you what you're getting. I mean, what are these antennas? Are these Wi-Fi antennas or are these cell antennas? From my experience, they look like that they're just Wi-Fi because that's what mine had on my AT&T device. So, the one thing I didn't like about the fact that this unit is that it stands up. And the other thing is that there is no battery backup in it. And if there is, it doesn't tell you. None of these websites tell you fully what comes with this device. Now, the one thing I was really shocked about with this particular device is the fact if I come down here and read this, that it only works with AT&T and some other things, but not for like Verizon, Sprint, and some of those other carriers. And they got too much technical jumbo-jumbering down for here. All I want to know is that it has the capability of using 3G, 4G, or 5G. And this device obviously is not truly unlocked. Now, if you want to know a lot more about the unlock stuff, look at my other video that I got on the unlocked AT&T hotspot thing. It's just right down below this video that you're watching now. And if you just pop this video up in some search, go to my channel and you'll find this video in my uploaded videos. So, it doesn't look like that it's capable of doing 3G. Now, they're kind of phasing out 3G, but where I am, I'm getting 3G and some 4G. Anyhow, this device shows you that it stands straight up. And I didn't like that for the fact that it could get tipped over easily. I like something to lay right flat on the box, up on flat on the table. So it doesn't tip over or get bumped and fall off. So, and the other thing is that this doesn't even have any way to hang it on a wall. It just basically sits there. And this may be a battery compartment. I don't know. It doesn't look like anything. But then they have other pictures here which doesn't help you anything with wanting to buy this thing. I mean, big whoop. It's, to me, I don't care. I mean, nice. Anyhow, let me go to the other boxes. Now, the other boxes that I've looked at that are less money are like these right here are only phone capable. So let me go into here and I'll show you those devices. So you can actually look them up on the internet for yourself just by typing in the brand name that you want if you are interested. Maybe there's somebody in your family that you know that doesn't need the internet and all that fancy schmancy stuff that us other people that are into the internet things need. So this device has an external antenna, which is okay, but I'm really kind of wondering what the quality of this actual antenna is and the reception that it would get versus built-in, I don't know. I haven't tested these, so I'm not about to, because they don't have internet capabilities. So they give you a picture of what the thing looks like. That it has 2 phone ports. I don't know what the USB's for. Who knows? But then there's the antenna port, and then the power, and it's just a simple little unit. But my question is, does it really work for the price? I don't know. It's just a plastic box. I mean, yes, at least this thing you can hang on your wall, which is nice, but there's no way to have internet coming to your computers, whether it's Wi-Fi or LAN, which is wired. So I'm going to move on to the next box here. And here's another one that's a little bit cheaper. And I think it might be just the same company, but just a different brand. I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit different, but it's the same design, and I don't know. It's up to you, whether you want to get it or not. But it looks like here is like an information panel. Like, I don't know. It doesn't even tell you what it is. Maybe it's caller ID, signal, power lights. I don't know. So, and then they got duplicate pictures here. And on the back here, it shows you that you got your power and your antenna. And then the telephone ports are there too. Anyhow, there's really not much to say about this device. For one, I haven't used it. If you guys have, please leave a comment and tell me what you think of it. I really don't know. And at least it comes with a phone cable, but to me, I wasn't impressed with the way they are trying to sell this thing. Now, I'm going to come back to this one, but I wanted to show you this other one that I've got in my list of things that I'm not going to buy. Especially this one I won't, because it's unavailable and who knows when it will be back. This one, from what I see, only works with 3G. Now, don't quote me on that, but from some of the things that I've seen on the internet, that this is only for 3G. And there's things that even on Amazon doesn't tell you what it's able to have. Now, I looked up this unit because I was very interested in even getting it until I found out that it didn't have internet capabilities. I mean, it wasn't something I really wanted or needed. But it tells you, what the thing is. Now, see, it does say battery, but it doesn't tell you if it comes with it. So, who knows? One website says it's optional. So, maybe it's optional. That's, if you look into it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend this device since it's only 3G. And the ones that are coming now are 4G. And, these pictures just keep telling you that it has a SIM card. And who knows what type of SIM card it takes, if it's a standard or if it's normal or if it's a micro unit. So these other pictures just show you the device itself, with the antenna pointed at the window. Not much really to help you to decide whether you want to buy this thing or not. But like I said, I don't recommend this because it's only 3G. Now, if it is 4G compatible, it doesn't say. So let's move on to the next device that I've looked at, which this one I like, but this other thing I just didn't really care about it. But nonetheless, it has built-in antennas. These things here. Let's look at the pictures, and So the interesting thing is, well, it doesn't really show you that it comes with the antennas. I don't know, but it actually is kind of interesting because it has a WAN port and a LAN port and one phone port. So that means that if you have high-speed internet, like DSL or cable, and it goes down, you can plug this thing in so it acts as a backup. So if something automatically goes down, this thing takes over, and that's a pretty good feature that I think to have in one of these units. So this just gives you another shot of what's on it. Well, maybe it does come with antennas. I don't know. It doesn't really say, but there again, it says light micro SIM, so that's the smallest one. Wi-Fi, RJ 45 and 11. So the price isn't bad here. Now, like I said, you want to check your prices because eBay could be a little more expensive. eBay could be a little less. Depends on who's selling it. But depends on what you want. If you like that price, then go ahead. I mean, I paid a little bit less, but there's other things on this device that the AT&T one doesn't have. Now, it doesn't say have any name brands to know if it works with everything. It does say, it does work with some. It says, it doesn't work with Verizon or Sprint. So what's the deal here? Why are they just catering to AT&T? Why aren't they catering to Verizon and Sprint and other phone carriers? Or maybe it's the phone carriers aren't compatible with these things. I don't know who is the problem, but there again, you're not getting a very good choice of carriers that you can use with these devices. That's one thing I've found out about all the ones that I've checked, is that they don't give you the flexibility that I'm looking for, or anybody would be looking for. Now this one here is the best, but it's a rotten price on Amazon. I sure didn't pay this kind of price for it. I went to eBay. So, if you watch the other one, the other video that's down below this video, this will give you all the things that I have found with it, and it's pretty sweet. Although it does not come with the antennas, like the Wi-Fi antennas in the back, and this gives you a really crappy shot of what's all in the unit. It doesn't give you the package thing here. Well, it does give you a little bit of a shot on the back, but it's really pathetic. And there again, it does say that it doesn't work with Verizon and Sprint and Net10 or any CDMA carrier, whatever that means. So I guess maybe it doesn't have those kind of cards. I don't know. I don't understand the CDM carrier. All this takes is a SIM card. Now maybe we can get some other pictures down here, but I don't know. They give you other options that you can do, but well, this one does tell you here, if you scroll down, that it does have a battery. So that's good. I didn't see that before when I was looking through here, but some of the other ones aren't even listed on here. So as far as what comes in the box, so that's not too bad. And I recommend this unit over the other ones. I mean, yes, the other one I just got done looking at was pretty good for the price, because you have the backup capability, versus this one doesn't give you the backup. It's either internet or not. I mean, either use the internet or you use your cable or DSL modem, which there are plenty of routers out there these days, like the ones that I'm using is Zero Shell, that will allow you to use a backup system and just plug this device directly into the Zero Shell, or like TP-Link has a small business class router that does the same exact thing. That it just uses it as a link backup, so that you can actually just use your Wi-Fi cell internet for your backup. So these are not bad. I mean, that's what's out there. There's not much, but it's either expensive on here, or really, I mean, it's not by much, but it's still $100 and some, and I paid less than that on eBay. But I'm not trying to steer you away from Amazon. I still shop at Amazon, and I am doing a little eBay shopping. But I'm just saying, compare your price. Whether this thing is worth the $139. You gotta buy your antennas if you want antennas. I don't know if they're really needed. If it were me, I would get the antennas. And to me, I was just shocked that it didn't come with the antennas already there. So that was really just kind of a bust. Just like, well, all right. I'm not going to use them because I'm not going to use the Wi-Fi on it. So anyways, I'm just using a wired Ethernet port on it. The other cool thing that I want to show you down here is another box that I have one just like this. I've actually was replacing this one because it actually is a Bluetooth gateway, which means that you can use your cell phone on a regular landline phone. Now, if you're just like, well, those boxes are well and good, but what's the point? I mean, I just can't take my cell phone with me. I got it locked to my house. Well, there are some people like me that really don't need to have the phone being transported. I mean, I do have a cell, and I use this box with it, and it works pretty good. It just works exactly like those cell phone SIM card boxes. I don't know what you want to call them. I mean, they're hot. There's some of them are hotspots with data voice capability. It just depends on what you want. But this is not bad. The one I got was, I think, a little bit more expensive because at the time I was using the landline and cell phone, so I wanted to actually have the capability to go back and forth if we needed a backup unit. So I didn't really care for it after once I got it, but this is a good device. I like it. That is just for you that are like, well, I want to be able to take my cell phone with me. Yeah, I'm like that too. When I want to go, I want to go. But for those that are home all the time, or maybe your elderly family members that need to have good cell phone or just good phone coverage for that matter, and if the cell phone works great at your family's house, whatever your relative is, then I would go with one of those boxes that I showed you. I just would stay away from I mean, you can try it. I can't recommend any type of box except the one that I'm using and this one, because this works pretty good. And the neat thing is, let me scroll up here, is that I can actually hook up, like, these little buttons right here are for like 3 cell phones. And I think the one that I have actually is able to do 4 cell phones. But the only drawback to that is that you got to push each button and when you want to select the cell phone. You can't just hit a dial pad on your local phone and expect to switch it from cell phone to cell phone. That's not the way it works. But other than that, I recommend this one too, with the AT&T. But that's pretty much that I can actually give you for alternative to VoIP phone services. So I hope you got some useful information out of this. I'm sorry I couldn't be that much more of a help to you than what I've got to show you because I've never tested it. But that is what is out there as of right now. And there's just some things that just would be like, well, I would want to know some other people that have used this before actually getting it. Now, I took a big risk of trying the AT&T unlock device on my cell phone carrier because they were even always trying to tell me that it can't work. Well, it does work. And they're a bunch of hooey. And all they wanted to do was sit there and argue with me on the phone. And I'm kind of wondering, what's worse? Dealing with people that can't speak English or dealing with the people that can speak English, and they're actually worse than the ones that can't, because at least the ones that can't hardly speak it try to help you, even though they can't help you. But then the Americans, all they want to do is sit there and argue till you're blue in the face. Now, when they come across a person like me that knows something, or like you, when you're looking into technology, and if you exactly know what you want and you have it, and it's working, and you know that there are companies out there that are trying to actually sell you something to make you feel like this isn't going to work, well, that didn't go over too well with me, and they got mad. You know, they got an attitude problem about everything. Now, I don't know everything that's out there, and I will never say that I do know everything. I always am learning when I buy something new, or, you know, doing one of these tech videos. So, what you see is what I've learned, or I have learned it, and I just never put it up on the internet for you. And that is what you're getting, is what I've been monkeying around with, trying to get my own services running. So if you have stable cell phone service, I recommend going with that, because the next time that my cable internet goes out, or even if I had DSL, it doesn't matter what you have, the next time that there's a storm of some sort, I'll still have phone service because I don't have to rely on the internet to provide me the phone service. And I've had a lot of people tell me that cable phone is not what it's all cracked up to be. And I'm sure it's not. And I kind of wonder, at the same time, you know, with my cable internet, if they're trying to force me to go to their service by giving me problems with this VoIP service. I don't know. I shouldn't. But there again, I have no idea, because I've never had any problems with my VoIP service, which is Voice over Internet Protocol, until I transferred over to Spectrum from Hell. And I'll tell you what, that's a whole nother video that I gotta do sometime. But I can't do it right now, and it'd be just too long. So anyways, I hope this gives you kind of a good idea of what's out there, what you can use, what you might want to try. Depends on your price, the availability of what you want to do. For me, I've got all that I need. I mean, I got the Wi-Fi spot type deal with the phone, so I can have both internet and phone at the same time if I really need it. Haven't had it, I just need the phone. But anyways, I'll be seeing you on the next video, and have a wonderful day.